seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Johnson versus Blackmond.
Thank you, Jerome.
You're welcome.
Good day, everyone. Ms. Johnson, today there are 2 men who've been tested as possible fathers of your 4-month-old daughter, but you say you believe the defendant, Mr. Blackmond, is her biological father.
That's right, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Blackmond, you argue that Ms. Johnson had a sexual relationship with 2 other men, and you fear one of those men are the child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, Mr. Blackmond, who are these other men?
There's 3 men that could possibly be her baby daddy. Of course,
3?
There's me, her ex-boyfriend before me, and this man sitting next to me who I consider a brother.
How did it come to be that you and the man you call a brother could possibly be the father of this child?
Since I was in high school, like, me and him have just been running buddies. You know, like, we like to live that lavish lifestyle. We're from Houston, Texas, and we really don't care about the women in Houston. My dad...
Please explain that. You don't care about any of the women in Houston. You would want to explain that.
My dad a Casanova, and he taught us 2 rules. One rule was nobody mess with anybody's girl, and that second rule was nobody has a girl. You understand? So
I get it.
We had so much fun back then that it might have cost me being the father of this child that's in question.
So, Ms. Johnson, tell me about your relationship with the defendant.
Your Honor, when I first met Mr. Blackmond, I was already in a relationship. I was well taken care of. I was driving the high-end cars. I was going to the nicest restaurants. Me and my son had no need or want for anything. I jumped out of a relationship with my ex to be with him because there was an instant connection.
Okay.
And 2 weeks after I moved in with the defendant, I had sex with his brother. We had a threesome, so there's 3 possibilities. 3 possible fathers of my daughter.
See, she promiscuous, Your Honor. Look, she proven that she promiscuous. Did you hear what she said? 2 weeks after she moved in with me from being with an ex-man.
You are too.
Women not supposed to be like you. If you act like that, you get treated like that.
Men ain't supposed to be like you.
You get treated like that.
Men are supposed to be like you.
From where I sit, Mr. Blackmond, it sounds like the pot calling the kettle black. You the one just said you're not supposed to have any regard for any girl. Now you meet a girl, you have a connection, you wind up letting your brother have sex with her, you all have a threesome. Are you now standing there suggesting to this court that you got your feelings hurt?
Honestly, yes, Your Honor. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, any other woman I've ever been with who, you know, really loved me, they wouldn't even accept being with my brother. But she had no problem with it, so it was like a test for me to go ahead and let her go.
But you're still with me, though, and you had a baby with me. That we purposely did.
So hold on, Ms. Johnson, wait. Let me follow this story. So you're in a relationship with an older man.
Yes.
And then you all decide out with the old, in with the new, right?
We just had that instant connection.
So you had an instant connection. You all said, we're gonna be together.
Yes.
How do you end up in the bed with him and his brother?
It was his idea. He's saying, you know, this is how we keep our relationship fresh. You know, this is what they do.
Fresh? You had only been there 2 weeks.
To keep it from getting boring.
I'm serious.
Just to keep it from getting boring, Your Honor.
She didn't start there with me when I was there. They had to wait till I was going to work, Your Honor. I come home from work, my top lock on my door locked, and they both in the house by themselves. You know, I'm knocking on the door. Now, we had already discussed that if anything gonna happen, I'm present. I wasn't present the first time something went down.
Let me hear about this conversation. So you basically had given her permission to sleep with your brother as long as you were present.
Because in the past, me and my brother, Mr. Gross, have done that before. So it was a test to her, and she failed the test, honestly. I opened the door, and my brother, Mr. Gross, standing there butt naked.
It was your
What
idea?
did you do?
I mean, honestly, because I didn't want to look like a punk to my brother, you know, I guess it was peer pressure. I just joined the party because that's what we do.
And he joined in.
That's what we do.
But it was a test, though.
But she did it, though. Like, okay, this is what I'm saying, though.
Your feelings were really hurt. You didn't want her to fail the test.
Right. But then, Your Honor, this was supposed to be like a one-time.
And was this around the time that Viviana was conceived?
Yes.
So you say this threesome thing was supposed to be a one-time thing.
I'm thinking while I was at work, though, because after that following week, after that one time, my door kept being locked. I kept knocking on the door. So I'm thinking they've been doing it more than one time, Your Honor, honestly. They done done it way more
All right,
than once.
I want to hear from your witness. Mr. Gross, please stand. Now, you called Mr. Blackmond brother.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You had sex with the young woman he moved into his home. Did you feel like you had permission to do this from your brother?
Like he just told you, the way we was raised. Like my dad, you know, he's a Rolling Stone. You know, he call it fishing. You throw the bait in, if the fish catch it, if it's a good fish, you keep it. But if it's not a good fish, you throw it back. You know.
And then what if it gets fried, like the both of you? Miss Johnson, how many times were you intimate with Mr. Gross?
Twice, both with Vincent's permission.
Your Honor, that's
Twice.
Twice.
And Mr. Gross?
Twice.
No, Your Honor, we
But with your
actually had
permission?
sex more than 10 times.
No, it wasn't. It was twice.
More than 10 times,
was
you
twice.
say?
Bro, quit playing.
It was twice.
Did you say more than 10 times?
Yes, ma'am. Well,
Okay,
I'm
hold
not gonna
on.
lie to you, bro. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know,
No,
I
he's
made a
lying right
mistake.
now.
This
was
is
twice.
new to you. I can tell, Mr. Blackmond.
You started this. It was you who did this? It was your idea.
So you had sex with my brother more than 10 times?
It was
though?
twice.
She told me that it happened once. Now she telling me it happened
No,
twice.
I told
Now
you
he
it was
telling me it
twice.
happened 10 times. I don't know who to believe. So how am I gonna?
But
how am I
bro,
supposed to get married
I'm
to her?
I'm not gonna lie to you like that. Come on, she
Mr.
beautiful.
Blackmond, as much as I want to feel sorry for you because I can see you're hurting, you opened the door
was his
and
idea.
your brother ran right on in and locked the top lock behind him. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Miss Johnson, so when you found out you were pregnant, who did you think the father was?
Well, my instant thought, it was Vincent, because we were actually trying to have a baby. I wasn't trying to have a baby with my ex.
Wait a minute. How are you trying to have a baby with a woman and giving her permission to sleep with your brother?
That was really just pillow talk, Your Honor. You know, like that's how.
Okay, why don't you use a condom then? Why don't you use a condom
pillow
then?
talk, man.
So, Miss Johnson, you have a witness. Your mother, am I correct? Please stand, ma'am.
She gon' prove to you.
State
too.
your name for the court.
I'm Rebecca Johnson, and I'm Elsie's mother.
Were you aware your daughter was in a relationship with Mr. Blackmond?
Not at first. She said that she find another roommate, and that's what I don't know. That is Mr.
So
Blackmond.
she told you she had found a roommate.
Yes, ma'am.
Did she ever tell you about the relationship she had with his brother?
No, ma'am. But Elsie is a wild child, and I was so disgusted about her. Because when she is 15, she is sending a naked picture in the cell phone and having sex. So as a Filipino, I don't approve that, and I'm not raised like that. So I sent her to Philippines so she could learn a lesson, our tradition. But she
Blah,
never...
blah, 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 blah.
Hold on now. Hold on.
See?
We
Tell
have
me she
established
lied.
that you don't have any respect for yourself, but you will respect your mother in this courtroom. At some point, you know that she's pregnant. Did she tell you at that time whether or not she knew who the father was?
No, ma'am. But I told her that I hope you will not be like other women that you don't know the father of your daughter.
So this was your fear. You said to her, I hope you're not in the position where you don't know who the father of your child is.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was her response to that?
I said, I do know who the father of my child is.
Like the timing is all off. Like at the end of the day, the doctor originally told her that her due date was sometime in March.
No, my original due date was in May. My original due date was May 29th, and we had got together in September, but they were going for my
Your
last
Honor, I
period.
got some evidence showing you.
I would like to see your evidence. Jerome, will you hand that to me, please?
When
What is this, sir?
That's basically a calendar, Your Honor, of possible conception date, showing that either way, it could be me, Lamarck's, her ex-boyfriends as well, because she didn't move in with me until like the 20th.
So let me review this. The dates outlined in yellow are the dates you and Ms. Johnson were intimate.
Right.
And then the dates outlined in green
Or
are the dates you believe she was intimate with Mr. Gross,
correct.
your brother. And when you, of course, look at the 15th, that's the date of the threesome.
Right.
Viviana's birth is on the 8th of June. So as you look at this calendar, who do you believe Viviana's father is?
I believe it's Mr. Blackmond.
Your Honor, I believe it's not none one of ours. I believe
That's not true.
If you have sex with 2 men, you had sex with 4. You have sex with 4, you had sex with
That's
8.
not true.
You had sex with 8, you had sex with 16. So I don't know who it is. I wouldn't
Like
mind.
you hear from her own mama, she
I
say
wouldn't
she
mind.
wild. Like we,
So
man,
now-
I'm talking about the whole population in Houston probably could be the father of this baby. Like it's no.
You know you're the pappy.
I got 2 other children from a previous relationship, and they look nothing like Viviana.
And my daughter
That's
look
because
nothing
I had
like
the
her.
dominant genes in our relationship. He had the dominant genes in that relationship, but I had the dominant genes in our relationship.
Do you all have a relationship?
Yes, Your Honor. We're engaged.
Y'all engaged?
We was engaged.
Is you
we was
serious?
engaged. We was engaged until I found out she had sex with my brother more than 10 times in this courtroom today, Your Honor.
That's why you asked me to be your
true.
best man?
So
To
right
marry her?
now, you just ended your engagement?
Man, like,
Your brother is surprised, Mr. Blackmond.
That's why you asked me to be your best man?
man.
He asked you to be his best man?
Yes, ma'am.
So you
I
should
really
have
thought
known
he
it
was
was
joking with me, you know, because we young. I'm 21 and
Why are you
married.
lying,
Come
Mark?
on now.
What did you
Like,
lie
Are you
for?
serious?
What reason you have to lie
Man,
for?
come on, don't marry her, bro. Come on.
You know you
now,
gonna marry
bro.
me.
Do you all see this beautiful baby?
She's a beautiful queen. She's beautiful. I wouldn't mind her being mine, but at the same time, I won't want no hoe to be my baby mama.
Hold on now, we gotta use respectful language in the courtroom.
And I wouldn't want
I
him
was
to be
being
my
a
baby
fool.
daddy either.
So wait a minute,
apologize.
Mr. Blackmond, what are your hopes? Are you hoping that this beautiful little girl is yours?
At the end of the day, Your Honor, I am. I always wanted a little girl. And honestly, I do truly love Elsie. I don't know what it is about her, you know, but I do love her. Like, I want to, you know, possibly move past a lot of stuff that we've been through. We built a rapport as she was pregnant. Like, I was there at the hospital when Viviana was born. I signed the birth certificate.
And I
Like,
have
I'm a
that- I
good
have that
father.
right
It's
here,
just
Your
that I want to make sure that this baby is mine before we move forward, or it helped me figure out what I need to do next in my life.
I don't know why he's denying my daughter, but he signed the birth certificate. Why would you?
Jerome,
why
will
would you
hand
sign my
that
birth
to me,
certificate?
please?
He had sex with his brother. who
Why did he sign the birth
deny?
certificate then?
I was the only one there. Like you had convinced me with your conniving ways that I possibly was the only choice.
Hold on. Before we go to the results, you know, I have to say, you all have come in here joking, but the jokes were based upon some very bad advice that someone gave you, that girls don't matter. Mr. Blackmond, it backfired on you. You mad because they slept together more times than you gave permission for. It's just a mess. This whole macho nonsense about what you gonna do with girls and then wind up falling in love and then ruining it with your test that you told her you gonna do. She failed, and then guess what? You still love her. Now, Miss Johnson, before you think you off the hook, the way you're running around here, guy after guy, sleeping with men that are brothers, threesomes, this is no way for a beautiful young woman to behave. It's ridiculous. You done gone from an old man to brothers, and you know that's nothing to be proud of. You understand that, right?
I know, Your Honor.
And walking into a courtroom and having to stand next to your mother, really basically admit you don't know who your child's father is. Not to mention the fact, even if the man was silly enough to give you permission to sleep with his brother one time, you took that inch and walked a mile.
He wanted it,
So
Your Honor.
some of this is your doing. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All of you all come in here talking silly about sex like it's an extracurricular activity that you all just figuring out how to do after school. It's not a game. And now this beautiful little girl is here, and you're her mother, and one of you may be her father. This is not sufficient for her because she deserves more. Now, I've heard enough. Let's go to the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Johnson versus Blackmond, when it comes to the paternity of 3-month-old Viviana Blackmond, and whether Mr. Blackmond or Mr. Gross is the biological father, it has been determined that her father is Mr. Blackmond.
I told you. I told you. I told you so. I told you.
Now listen, one thing I can say about you two young people, you all have had your fun and sown your oats, okay? I won't even get into what I've heard today and how disgusting most of it was. But now, it's time to grow up. And both of you, it's time for you all to go behind your door in your home and turn the top lock and lock him out. And work on building this family, if that's what you want to do together, but most importantly, figuring out how to raise this beautiful little girl together. Am I clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is adjourned.
I know that I got to step up to the plate. I've done a lot of things in the past that I'm not proud of anymore, but I'm trying to be the man that I need to be for my daughter.